How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Legendary Loot News. In today's loot chest, we've got Kingdoms of Amalur, the fantasy RPG that released on the PS3 and Xbox 360 way back in 2012. It's been 8 years since the game launched, and unfortunately went under the radar due to many other RPGs being in the spotlight then, like Skyrim, Mass Effect 3, and Dragon Age. Kingdoms of Amalur was a fantastic RPG back in 2012 and was mainly combat driven. The story was okay and kinda hard to follow from what I remember of it at least, but the combat was epic, it was addicting, it was rewarding, and it was only bettered by the skill system, the different playstyles and builds you could create, and the loot, man. The freaking loot. It was so good. If you are a fan of RPGs, action RPGs, or any game that has loot in it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, as that is literally why this channel exists, to showcase and talk about the loot in games, which includes this one. The loot in this game was so good and so addicting to find, with hundreds of unique items, all with their unique stats and visuals. I played this game so much back in the day with the goal to find every unique and set item, and I had a blast doing it because the combat is just that fun. So why are we talking about Kingdoms of Amalur? Sure, there's loot in the game, but this game came out 8 years ago. Well, you may have heard about a month ago that Amalur is getting a remaster, this time by THQ Nordic, who bought the IP back in 2018. This remaster is called Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and today we got brand new information on the game, including a release date and a brand new expansion announcement. So first, I'm going to show you the announcement trailer, and then we are going to talk about it. So stay a while and listen.
From the beginning, we were wrong. And only now have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken.
So today we got an official announcement trailer for the Re-Reckoning, which unfortunately is a cinematic trailer, so we don't get to see how different the gameplay looks visually compared to the 2012 version, besides these few in-game screenshots here, but we do get a release date for the game, which is September 8th, with a brand new expansion called Fatesworn, set to release in 2021. Re-Reckoning will have improved gameplay and combat, obviously reworked visuals, as well as new stuff that wasn't in the original game. Don't know exactly what that quote new stuff is, but anything new I'm down for, and it's also getting that new expansion. We also got word that the game won't be full priced, which surprised me solely because of how the gaming industry is nowadays, but the standard edition with all the previous DLC will be $40, $55 for the Fate edition, which includes next year's expansion, and $110 for the collector's edition, which we have a trailer for that I will play for you now. I definitely say pick up that collector's edition if you want some IRL loot to add to your collection. As far as in-game loot though, I do hope this remaster capitalizes on the loot mechanics that were in the original game. Honestly, just the reworked visuals is enough for me to get back into it again. I loved how the loot looked in the original game, and collecting the unique gear was addicting, seeing my character progress through all the badass and mystical looking items I was finding. If you like loot, you'll love this game, trust me. Depending on what the improved gameplay and combat means, we could see some more depth in terms of itemization, or movesets, skills, or really anything at this point. I mean, the game has tons of features that can be expanded further upon, like blacksmithing, where you can craft and repair gear. There's alchemy for potion crafting and sage crafting, which allows you to craft gems for sockets. There's tons of abilities, skills, and other mechanics that alter and change the way you play. There's a lot in this game, and none of it feels like filler mechanics. They all play their part. They don't necessarily need to be expanded upon in the remaster, but it would be welcome for sure. If you haven't played Kingdoms of Amalur, or you just need a refresher on the loot, the different weapon types in the game are longswords, greatswords, hammers, which were my favorite, fablades, daggers, longbows, stave, chakrams, and scepters. The loot rarities are white common items, green infrequent items, blue rare items, purple unique items, and gold set items. And the unique and set items all have their unique art and look to them, which is awesome. The main reason I love collecting them so much, basically, just seeing the cool designs and like making my character look cool, literally all I used to do. There are random drops in this game, so you can get unique items to drop randomly from monsters, and some of them come from specific main or side quests. There is a shitload of side quests in this game. You can easily beat the original game's main story in around 25 hours, and then spend another 80 to 100 hours doing all the side quests. Some of that content is memorable, but most of it is just go here and kill these guys for this reason over and over again, which is not the best. But, like I said earlier, the combat is really what drives this game, and that's why you'll want to do the side stuff. The combat is so fun. You'll just want to play the game more because of the combat. And more XP and more loot is always a great reward to power up and progress your character even more if you're into that kind of thing, and if you are, then you've found the perfect channel for you. The combat only gets more addicting and more exciting when you know there's a chance you could get an epic item at any time as a random drop. This is why I love random drops in games, and I wish it was done more frequently than fixed drops. Now, there's a lot I didn't mention when it comes to the original Kingdoms of Amalur. Just remember, this is an RPG. It has all those RPG mechanics you've grown to love. I'm just mainly here to sell you on the loot, which is why this channel exists. If you like loot in games, get this remaster. Heck, get the original game if you can't wait for the remaster. It still holds up after all these years. Trust me, if you're like me, and loot is the driving mechanic in games for you, you'll want to play Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, because the original game and the loot you'll find is brilliant. So, mark your calendars, September 8th, it'll be releasing on PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and you can even pre-order it right now if you want. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it or found any informative value in it, give it a like as it helps get the video out to more people, and subscribe for more epic loot news on Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Once we get more news or new gameplay, I'll definitely be talking about it here, so stay tuned. Also, follow me on Twitter for more game news that doesn't quite make it into videos, and for other game shenanigans and discussions. This has been your daily dose of legendary loot news, and I hope you have a legendary day.